truly amazing. Like Aparna so beautifully summarized it. And one thing which Pastor Shibali said, that in our life, sometimes we can have a very abstract view of God, like He's the Savior, He's the God, He is the healer, He is the shepherd. And then God takes us to do certain things in our life, and then He's no longer the Savior, He becomes my Savior. He's not the shepherd, He becomes my shepherd. And then, as she spoke, no, that we are sheep. And one amazing statement, I thought we should have it in our Bibles somewhere in the front. It says, we never want to outgrow being led. That means I never stop being a sheep. And if I never stop being a sheep, I always need to be fed. Like what we heard today, was a beautiful message. I always need to be fed. I never reach a place as a sheep where I don't need the shepherd. I always need the shepherd. And thank God for conferences are these opportunities where we get to feed ourselves and become like fatted lambs and become prepared. No? So thank God for that. And then the theme of the conferences of the eternal was explained so beautifully, because in our life, as we always hear, we have the world, the flesh, the enemy, and they are always. Pastor Jomi shared an amazing message on one morning, Sunday morning, I think. He shared a beautiful message. He used the pulpit and he said, this is time. Our life on this earth, time is this much. And we are so focused on this temporal. And eternity is saying, he looked at the hall, this hall is smaller, that hall is so big. He's saying that is how big eternity is. And we waste all our life over here focused on the temporal things. And we forget the eternal. But as soon as our life is over, we are going to leave this aspect called time. But we waste all our energy, all our efforts on this thing called time. Imagine, and it is not so thick. It just took one line. That is what this time on this earth is, so temporal, so small. And we are focusing all our time, all our efforts, all our money on this time. And we forget eternity. And we are going to go into eternity. And as saved believers, we go to eternal heaven. And those who are not saved, we know, will go to eternal hell. And then to imagine that. And then he said, imagine God who is in eternity. And then he steps into this time. Imagine that when we think of Christmas, like God who is eternal, he comes into the time to meet me at my point of need. The people who were in the desert for 40 years, God who is in eternity, He saw their need and He steps into time and He meets them and provides for them manna. That same God is the God who wants to meet you and me while we are in this time. And I'm saying, oh God, I don't have time for you, please, thank you. Huh? Imagine how foolish you would be to say, I don't need a shepherd and I don't need to be fed. So I thought that is one statement. I want to take it and say it again. It says, as a sheep, we never want to outgrow being led. As a sheep, I always need a shepherd. To always keep myself in that position of humility, what I need. I don't have it all in me.